Thank you, sir. I'm really pleased to have the opportunity to speak on this motion this afternoon about the incredible achievements of our Australians of the Year, particularly those from South Australia. I thank the Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable David Speers, for bringing this motion to the House, which, judging by the efforts of previous speakers, will be a moment of bipartisan unity as we all in this House celebrate these achievements of these outstanding South Australians who have been nominated for Australian of the Year, Senior Australian of the Year, Young Australian of the Year, and indeed Local Hero. So, to the South Australians of the Year who were also nominated to the National Awards, particularly Taryn Brumfitt and Awa Marble, and all of the others. I will read them at the end for the record, but I particularly want to reflect on these two. Taryn Brumfitt, I met the other night. She was the guest speaker at the 40 Under 40 Awards and an inspiration to all of those present at what was a high-achieving room full of young people eager to deliver on their potential in life, to be their best and to share their experiences with the community. They were worthy to be nominated there, and Taryn Brumfitt was identified as somebody who was using her platform to achieve her best in life. The interview with Daniela Rotorto and Taryn was a really high moment of the night, but she shared a number of the things that she shared through her documentary work, through her public work previously. Some of the stories that she shared about the resilience that she had to demonstrate and the efforts that she had to go to indeed see the movie, to see Embrace succeed in the way it did, was really incredible to hear. And the thing that I'll remember, of course, is after the speech, she identified that I was the Shadow Minister for Education and had a platform of my own. She'd spent a lot of time talking about the use of the platform of Australian of the Year to achieve social positive outcomes. She saw that I had a platform too as Shadow Minister and wanted to particularly encourage me to watch the subsequent film Embrace Kids. And I committed to doing so, and this is only several days ago. I haven't yet, but sir, I reiterate that commitment to the House. And indeed, I encourage others to do so as well, which was my purpose in bringing it up here. Embrace is very well known. It's been seen by very, very many people. Embrace Kids is more recent, and I look forward to seeing it. Because, as one of the other speakers mentioned, I reflect on the young people in our own lives, in our families, and indeed in our communities. We want them to love their bodies. We want them to feel powerful with who they are without feeling that they have to aspire to some unnecessary, unreasonable, and in many cases unhealthy potential ideal as society might see it. The superpower that comes with loving one's body as it is, as Taryn Brumfitt referred to it on the night, is extraordinarily important. And for those young people, if they can have that in mind as they go about their lives, they'll be happier, healthier, and potentially achieve more. It is not our life's purpose to be at war with our body, as Taryn said, and I think that it's really great to acknowledge that achievement of someone from South Australia who is making her mark not only around Australia but on the world stage as well. I'm particularly pleased as the member for Morialta to reflect on the achievements of Awa Marble. Awa Marble has been reflected by many. The young Australian of the Year, Socceroos player, currently playing with Sparta Prague. I think he's moving to Spain imminently. An extraordinary life story, South Sudanese heritage, growing up in the world's third largest refugee camp, along with 180,000 other displaced people in Kenya. Coming to Australia, where we talk about it as citizenship ceremonies, the dream that we aspire for this country to enable people to fulfil their potential, to be their best and to have opportunities. Awa Marble certainly has grasped those, but certainly from a background of challenge, and indeed, while he would want to be remembered for and recognised for his achievements and the contribution he makes, the fact that it has come from a background of such challenge cannot help but be noticed. And I think an inspiration to many. Awa Marble's soccer career, as it is also enabled him to have a platform of his own, which is supported by being Young Australian of the Year, for his charity, Barefoot to Boots. His experience of no doubt informed him on the importance of helping refugee families and people to understand what they need in terms of health support and education and welfare. Indeed, for a young refugee seeking to play soccer, a kit is particularly important. Barefoot to Boots is providing that support to many people's lives at the moment. And I congratulate him. We all congratulate him for the way that he is using his platform that he has achieved through his own hard work, but has opportunities now to help others. And here's the bit where, as a local member, I'm very proud. Awer, prior to playing for Adelaide United, played a season, his first season in the seniors, with the Campbelltown Red Devils, right here in Newton in the Morialta electorate. I was talking to Donnelly and Bruno, the club president, recently, Italo Zanata, the fundraising director, Julie Chikachopo, the secretary, recently, and indeed, everyone at the Campbelltown Soccer Club is very proud of the work Awer has done. He was recruited. He played for the seniors in 2012. Played, as I believe, 14 senior games for Campbelltown. Now, it turns out in life not everything happens, that we don't achieve all of our goals. If Awer had stayed in the NPL for another year, he might have been part of Campbelltown's famous 50th anniversary league championship the following year. But no, he went on to other things. Some might consider them more successful, but he did miss out on a fantastic night at Hindmarsh Stadium where Campbelltown won that game, that final, the following year. Seriously, Campbelltown is celebrating its 60th anniversary on Saturday week at a special function, and Awer's achievements will be amongst the many achievements over the 60 years, but I think it'll be a very special achievement. And unfortunately, he couldn't be there on the night. He's overseas. He's got a job, which obviously requires that. But to Awer Bulmarbel, his family, and indeed to all of those who have helped him along the way, we acknowledge that hard work and that important work. So to all of those who were nominated for the Australian of the Year, in addition to Taryn Brumford, obviously Andrea Madeley, Murray Shaw, and Professor Chris Daniels, the Senior South Australian of the Year, Sandra Miller, and other nominees, Eric Siggers, Eugenia Sulis and Margaret Fisher. In addition to Awer Marble, the other South Australian nominees for Young South Australian of the Year, Felicity Graham, Josh Cavallo and Zainab Kazemi. And indeed the nominees, the South Australian Local Hero of the Year, Christine Robertson, and other nominees, Elizabeth Haberman, Marigold White and Neil Davis. We celebrate your contribution. We thank you for the contribution you've made to South Australia. We thank you for the role you play as role models in our community, inspiring our young people and everyone in our community to be our best, to find opportunities to contribute to our society and make this state a happier place through our efforts every day.